Hello, beautiful people of the internet. For a little while, I've been thinking about starting like a new little ongoing segment or series, and I had this idea the other day because I was driving and I have a little bit of road rage, and I was just thinking about like clever names for like a little segment, and I was thinking, what about Big Hoop Backtalk? Again, it's something I've gotten in trouble for my entire life. I am the queen of saying things under my breath as I'm walking away. You can ask my mom. She knows firsthand, my mom and my dad. So yeah, that's what this segment is going to be called. Big Hoop Backtalk. I don't know how regularly it's going to be posted, but it definitely is going to be a reoccurring thing for me. This shirt also kind of inspired me. It says, "Thou shalt not try me," mood 24/7. The bigger the hoop, the bigger her heart, but the bigger the hoop, the bigger her mouth also. So I'm also probably going to be eating. It's just ramen with vegetables in it. So recently, oops, I'm getting crazy. I pulled one of my hoops out. Recently, I've kind of been, this quote just kind of really irritated me. Pop culture has been booming recently. The Oscars just happened, and that was a crazy thing in itself. Sorry, my hair is just not wanting to cooperate with me right now, especially this little strand right here. It wants me to die. That was, again, a whole mess. And the Kardashians have been in and out of the news for various things. And so I stumbled upon the clip or the audio bite of Kim talking about people not wanting to work. The nerve. First of all, Kimberly, I don't want to work. I'm going to be totally honest with you. I don't. It's not really that I don't, but I like somebody who is literally the most giant, not only nepotism baby, but I became famous for something that's, I won't say it's good or not good, because I'm not here to comment on anybody's life, and although I won't consider what she was doing sex work, I don't, But she definitely didn't become famous for anything special. She's not, I'm at a loss for words. I'm not a cruel person. I don't want to be cruel. But that really pissed me off. Who are you to tell everyone else that they don't want to work? My grandparents, my parents have busted, my sister, my older sister, have busted their ass from a very young age to get to where we are now, where I am now. And I don't think it's fair for her to say, "Oh, nobody wants to work." And then Courtney's ass, yeah, it's so true. Weren't you caught on camera saying work's just not my priority? It's just not my thing. My kids are my thing, which is fine if that's how you want to live. But don't sit back and pretend like getting up at 6 a.m. for a photo shoot for your Christmas card is so hard, Kimberly, that wearing puffer jackets and having fake paparazzi following you in Japan for your ex-husband's fashion line, which looked like you could get it at Burlington Coat Factory, which honestly, Burlington is a bomb place to shop. I'm not trying to downgrade it at all. It's just she wore puffer jackets and bike shorts. Don't stop, Kimberly, please sit down. Literally. Cue Kendrick Lamar in the background, because that comment just really, really irked me. And you know what? I wish I could do what Kim does. I wish that I could get up in my $1 billion home That's all that her daughter even thinks a Psycho built because of how different and architecturally weird it had to be. And have 4 photo shoots a day, have my makeup done, have my hair done. And honestly, I kind of feel this way about all of them. I'm not going to lie to you. I've heard decent things about Good American, so I can't say about Chloe's brand. Courtney doesn't really have a brand. I think her brand is Poosh, but it's basically just a subcategory of journalism. I don't know. I don't have anything to say on that because I don't read it. But specifically Kim and Kylie, my ideology of what I think in my mind, the scene that I get when I think about them sitting down with people to meet about their brands and their makeup and their clothing lines, is they sit down and somebody basically came up with ideas of things that already existed. Somebody else did the whole creative process for them. And then they sit down and they show them all these things and they get to pick out colors and maybe fabric and texture, and that's about it. Because the Kardashians kind of have been known to take other people's ideas, especially Kylie. And that's been from the beginning of her makeup line. The whole drippy lip thing wasn't her idea. Her collections are boring, and they were made in the same place that ColourPop is made. And I love ColourPop. ColourPop is my homegirl. But I really, really, really feel like these people are so out of touch. Like they have no idea. And it makes me sad that Skeet is going down the path that he's going down. He's only been with this girl for not that long. He has her name branded on his chest and another tattoo that has to do with her. And I just don't, first of all, I don't even know if when you're married you should have somebody's name tattooed. And again, that's personal choice. It does typically have somewhat of a negative connotation associated with that. You know, it's typically, it's not good luck. Believe what you will. Again, that's you and you're a person. You've probably been together a lot longer than Kim and Pete have. And also, again, I think they're trying to be relatable. And I know that everyone struggles with this. I'm not trying to be an asshole, I swear. But when Kylie came out and said, oh, it was really hard after pregnancy, you're not going through anything that no one else in the world has ever gone through. Postpartum is a very serious issue. And I'm not saying that people don't deserve to talk about what they're going through and what they're feeling, but I feel like, I don't know, I feel like sometimes they act like what they're going through is something that no one else in the world understands. Like when Kendall was going through anxiety. Again, I'm not saying she doesn't suffer from anxiety, but you're making it seem like nobody in the world understands what it feels like to be going through what you're going through. And I guarantee you there are a lot of people out there. A lot. Every single day. I don't know. It just really, really irked me. And again, I'm not one of those people that goes and comments on people's posts or like does anything hateful. They're living their life, I'm living mine. It takes no time for me to scroll past something that I don't like. I don't comment anything, I don't, whatever. I don't purchase anything from their brand, and I never will, but I mean, I have considered looking at Skim stuff, but it's too expensive. And I actually watched a TikTok about where her stuff is made, and I'm pretty sure there's like a Alibaba or DHgate page where you can actually literally get the same things that Kim has, like the same products she sells, but basically like the generic version. I don't know. I don't think there's anything wrong with living the influencer life or, making your way in the entertainment business, but I just think that was incredibly insensitive, incredibly out of touch, and incredibly rude for Kim to say. Because you know, after that quote came out, I saw a bunch of people who had worked for them previously talk about the work that they had to do for the minimal pay they were getting. You guys make billions of dollars a year. Billions. And you couldn't even afford to pay your employees like a little bit more than minimum wage, you know, for the things that they're doing for you because you can't do it yourself, apparently. It's a whole thing. And I think it also bothers me because although I am in a middle-class family, it took time for us to be a middle-class family. My parents bust their ass every single day. I grew up knowing you had to bust your ass to be where you needed to be. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't think Kim busts her ass. You know? Not saying that everyone's job has to be like, oh, backbreaking, whatever, I'm doing all these things, but she tries to act like it is. And I can guarantee you what she does versus somebody who even works in a you know, as a server at a restaurant does way more than Kimberly does. I also want to talk about lately, maybe not necessarily just lately, but within the last few years that I've been in school has really lost its I don't know, it's lost its glitz and glamour for me. Not that school is ever glitzy or glamorous, but I have been traditionally pretty good in school since I was very young. I was in GATE when I was in elementary school, and none of this is to brag. I started in honors classes in junior high, and I was in honors and AP classes in high school. And I was always relatively really good at school. I did get a lot of awards. I did really well. I was in like a top percentage of my class, and as much as I did love school and I still do have a certain love for school, I feel like being a gifted kid kind of does mess you up a little bit. And not because I had anybody, like, especially at home, my parents are super supportive, and my mom is very much like, do the best that you can do. If you know you did the best that you can do, and you can sit here and look at me and say you did the best that you did, and you know, even if it turns out whatever, you did the best that you could do. But I feel like being in honors and AP really kind of messes with your brain a little bit, because especially if going from high school into college, if you're not the best of the best or you're not the top of the top, even though being in honors and AP is already giving you, you know, you're already at a level that other kids aren't, which again, it doesn't mean I'm smarter or whatever. I'm not here to judge that or talk about that. But in my experience, like looking back on it, I feel like it was kind of cutthroat. And not because anybody really treated each other that way, but I think in our, like an underlying theme in our brain was almost kind of like a jungle, you know? Excuse my ums. I'm trying to collect myself and think about what I want to say before I say it. But in college, I really had to learn to be a lot more easy on myself. I had to learn that sometimes it's okay to do your best and it not be like A++++++. I still get A's and B's, but I had to learn that there needed to be balance in my life. And that's something I think that I kind of almost like struggled with a little bit too in high school, because there's a lot expected of you when you're going from high school to college, because when you fill out, you know, your college applications, they want to know that you are a well-rounded human being. Community service, good grades, part of clubs, and that really overwhelmed me. I never let anybody know it, but it overwhelmed me so bad. And it kind of still does, you know, because I feel like sometimes people are like, oh, college is this and you should join this club. And in my brain, I'm weird because I would say I'm pretty extroverted, but I'm also kind of introverted, and like just the thought of being like, oh, I want to like go do this club, and like having to be like, I need to do this club and we meet every day at this, you know, especially now with gas, it is expensive, and parking at school, that is another thing that really pisses me off. It is so expensive to park in college, and half the time there isn't even parking. Do better. I pay enough to go to this darn school and I can't even find a place to park for a reasonable price. Ugh, my God, it is just, it's a whole thing. And then sometimes I feel like I kind of struggle to focus. I don't have any mental, I won't call it an ailment, but for as long as I've been alive, I've never been diagnosed with anything like ADHD or ADD or anything like that. But I noticed, especially when I got to college, and maybe it even happened when I was in high school and I just never realized it because life just kind of moved too fast, or, you know, I feel like it's just hard to stay on a task and just stick with it. My mom actually has Hashimoto's disease, which has to do with her thyroid. And I think for a minute there, before she was on her medication for her thyroid, she mentioned stuff about like brain fog, and she does kind of forget things quite a bit. I don't know if she struggled to focus. I think she did mention something about that also. And I kind of, because of a bunch of different things, I kind of feel like I have issues with my thyroid. My doctor has never mentioned it, but there are tests that I think I need to have done, which are pretty good indicators of whether that's the case or not. And I'm not sure if that's a thing that's kind of adding into that, if it's just life. Life has kind of been stressful recently, financially, emotionally. And it just, you know, it doesn't slow down as you get older. It kind of gets bigger and faster, and it's a thing, you know. Not doable, you know. You get up every day and you do what you need to do. I have a really amazing support system, which is awesome, but I am kind of one of those suffer in silence people, and that's my fault. Super suffer in silence. No, I could, you know, there are certain things, I'm pretty dramatic, so there are certain things that's like, you'll know because you can read it all over my face, but there are other things that I'm pretty sure I've gone through that no one in the world has any idea I went through, just because I don't know if it's a pride thing. I don't know if it's just I don't want to bother people. I don't know if it's, I don't really know where it comes from. I think I just don't like to see people, or I don't like people to see me struggling or thinking that I need help, which is a toxic trait. Don't be like that. Talk to your people about what you need and how you feel. That's the healthy thing to do. Don't sit by yourself in the dark because of something silly. That was a weird tangent, but again, school, kind of irritating. I'm so close to being done though, like so close. I can taste it. And once I'm done, I'm gonna wait until a little while to decide whether I actually want to go for grad school or not. I don't know. Honestly, don't get me wrong. I love the major I chose, or I like the major I chose, but I don't know if I love it. But I kind of did it because I feel like it was something that I could do a lot of different things with. But with that kind of comes that confusion of like, okay, but what do I do now? Actually, because it's the time to think about it. It's a lot. It's a lot. I am also trying to kind of break out into the affiliate marketing realm as like a form of passive income. So I also wanted to put that out here. If you are somebody, first of all, who has ever thought about or actually donated to me on PayPal or Venmo is probably easier. I have a link tree, and I'll probably put that in the description box below, to where you can do that if you feel so inclined. if you've ever done that, if you've ever thought about it, if you've ever purchased anything off of my Amazon wish list, if you happen to see me in a video or on my Instagram or blog in an outfit and you go to my like to know it page or my obsessed with it, which is a magic links page, and you go and you click on the links and you again buy something, I do get a small commission off of those things, and that helps me tremendously, and I'm so incredibly thankful if you do. Even if you don't, and you know, I'm so thankful because it's so helpful to me. When COVID happened, I left my job. I didn't really leave my job. I kind of had to leave my job. And then I didn't go back because I thought I'm almost done with school. So I just want to finish out this semester. So I'm not working. So it has been really tight financially. And so it does help me so much when any of you lovely people decide to do that. So thank you in advance. If you haven't, thank you if you have. I appreciate it so much from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate it a lot. Another thing I want to talk about is that's just been really like just kind of getting to me. I hate when people, especially when they're your age, and you know, maybe they graduated school before you, maybe they have a job, maybe they do this, maybe they do that, maybe they live on their own. And I feel like they kind of try to, like, they almost, it's not a direct thing, but it's like if you were eating, like, say you ate, somebody saw you eat McDonald's like twice in a row or something, and they were like, wow, you should really be eating better, and like, and they don't even know you that well. First of all, keep your mouth shut, keep your penis to yourself, because you ain't my mama. Second of all, don't think you're so high and mighty because you have whatever job it is that you have that I don't even know. You know, you want to say you're making this much money a year when you're not. Or you are, and I don't know how that's possible. But I just don't like when you're in a position in your life and somebody else is in a different position. And again, I know we're human beings. We all judge other people, and we all make assumptions and do all these things, but I'm not better than you and you're not better than me, and I don't need you to try to be my parent. I also don't like when people try to like almost like burn you, but low key, or they write something or say something, tweet something, Instagram something, and there's a slight at you, and you know it's a slight about you. And especially when they try to do it and they think you're not going to see it. Girl, I saw it. And I don't think that that is cool. And again, I'm somebody who like literally really rarely ever has beef with anybody, because first of all, I have a really small circle. I only have like 3 friends and my family and my significant other. You know, I don't really have beef with people because I'm not here to start beef with anybody. That's just not who I wasn't that in high school. I wasn't that in junior high. I'm definitely not that now. Don't get me wrong. I am sassy. I can be savage when I want to be. But I'm not just going to start something just to start something. If I'm provoked, that's a whole different story. But I'm not just going to come at you for no reason. And if you're going to be shady, that's not something I can have in my life. You know? Friendship breakups are hard. I don't think people really ever talk about it, but they're hard. And they're heartbreaking, especially when people have been in your life for such a long time. And you'll always have love for them. It's not like you don't care for them, but there are certain things that once they're said, they can't be unsaid. And you know, it's a choice to keep somebody in your life or not, and whether you do or don't is again entirely up to you. But I've started to learn, because I really was that person who tried to hold on to anything and everything because I just felt like that was who I was. That's who I am. I got a really, really big capacity for empathy and love for people, but sometimes to a fault. And I really, really had to learn that I can't be doing that. I cannot overextend myself to people who do not, who have no right to hold a space and take up that much space in my life and in my heart. Again, not saying that I don't have love for you, that I don't hope for you to succeed, and that I don't hope you live a long, happy, and prosperous life. But you can't be in mine anymore. It's like the many Tupac quotes. Just because we are not cool anymore doesn't mean, and you don't eat at the table with me, doesn't mean I don't want you to be eating somewhere else. And that's very loose. That's not the exact quote. It also kind of reminds me of the TikTok soundbite that has the Tupac where it's like, and if you wonder if I hate you, which is SZA first, but then it goes into Tupac saying, I ain't mad at you. Do your thing, boy. You know, go do your thing and I'll do mine. And it's better for us this way. I've been talking a lot. This was a very healing experience. I hope you like it. It wasn't as sassy as I originally thought it was going to be. The Kardashian part kind of did get a little sassy, and I am sorry that I'm not sorry about that, because I'm not sorry. But these probably will eventually get sassier and sassier. Big Hoop Backtalk isn't always going to be like talking trash. There's going to be certain elements to it that at a later date I will probably talk about going into it. Sorry, I just heard something. It sounded like a door was going to open. I'll probably be talking about some of the things here where I live, some of the places, because I feel like I do live in a very rich, culturally rich area, especially the Latino community. I am a Latina. My mom is full Mexican, full blood Mexican. You know, maybe talk about some of the events, car shows, some of the brands. One of my favorite brands of all time is Belladonna. It's actually Belladonna, but they're one of my favorite brands of all time. They're co-owners and creators, Lala Romero and Honeybee Gold, or Natalia Durazo, are amazing. I love them so much, and they have the most amazing, culturally inclusive, size inclusive, you know, everything fly starts in the neighborhood brand, and I love it. It's amazing. So that will probably be part of this as well. Thank you all for listening and still being here. If you still are here, I appreciate it. Again, all of my important links will be in the description box below. Thank you for all of your support. I love you, and I will talk to you guys again soon. Bye.